While a couple is deeply in love, the girl's father challenges the two to switch their phones with each other to test their relationship. Things get wild when their hidden secrets are revealed. 24-year-old Pradeep always gets scolded by his mother for being continuously glued to his phone. When his girlfriend, Nikitha, tells him one day that her father has begun presenting her with photographs of potential grooms, he promises to go over and meet him soon. In the meantime, he invites her to his place on the day of his sister's engagement. She goes there as just his friend, but she ends up impressing not just his friends, but also his mother. 8 months go by before Pradeep is summoned to meet Nikitha's strict father. Both of them were confident that the meeting would go well since they knew everything about each other. However, neither of them expected Nikitha's father to ask them to swap their phones for 24 hours. He promises that at the end of 24 hours, if they still want to go ahead with their relationship, then he will give them their blessing. Since he insists on doing just this one thing, Pradeep and Nikitha agree to exchange their phones. That evening, in an attempt to prevent Nikitha from unlocking his phone and discovering all its secrets, Pradeep tries to come up with an idea with his friends. One of his friends, Bhaskar, suggests that they make up a fake scenario of passport verification for which he will need his phone. After Pradeep rejects this idea, they then proceed to bombard Nikitha with endless calls on Pradeep's phone relating to his sister's wedding, which was in just 4 days. They hoped that she would get frustrated and immediately return his phone to him. Instead, Pradeep gets a call on Nikitha's phone saying that they needed to ensure it was her number for passport verification. Since this was the same idea they were going to use, Pradeep and his friends realized that even Nikitha wished to keep Pradeep out of her phone. Using her father's phone, she calls her number to speak to Pradeep and apologizes for the test her father was putting them through. Agreeing that they know everything about each other, they both promise that they won't go digging into each other's phones for no reason. But Nikitha's father makes things worse by urging Pradeep to reveal his unlock pattern and sending him Nikitha's unlock pattern as well. The two are then haunted by all the incoming notifications on each other's phones. Eventually, both of them give in and look into the secrets hidden in their phones. Pradeep finds an old chat with a guy that Nikitha had told him was almost like a brother to her. Turns out that he had proposed to her and she had kindly turned him down, but hadn't told Pradeep any of it. He calls Nikitha to confront her about it, and she tells him that she was just being nice to him since he had been a good friend. She then asks him about a girl he had sent some money. He lies at first, saying she is just some stranger he wanted to help, but then honestly says that she was his ex-girlfriend. Since she had blocked him everywhere, he had no way of contacting her, which is why he had thought he would send her 20 rupees and begin a conversation saying that he sent it by mistake. He says that neither did that girl reply to him, nor did he get his money back. Meanwhile, Pradeep's sister, Divya, is speaking to her fiancé, Yogi, when she gets a call from her aunt. She adds him to the call, and he listens to Divya's mother and aunt speak about how he wasn't all that great even if he was a dentist, and that Divya could do much better. He refuses to tell Divya about it but remains shocked himself. On the other hand, Pradeep's search for a charger for Nikitha's phone takes him all the way to where his friends live together. He then enters the world of Nikitha's Instagram DMs. Here, he finds numerous messages from strange, unknown, and random men who repeatedly contact her. He doesn't even realize that he spent the rest of the night immersed in these messages, and it is only when his friends tell him that Divya had called that he rushes home for her pre-wedding function. At the function, when a few ladies notice that Yogi's unattended phone was ringing, they urge Divya to answer it, saying that she has every right to do so. But just as she answers the call, Yogi angrily snatches the phone from her. Meanwhile, Pradeep receives a message from Nikitha's ex-boyfriend and realizes that not only has she been in contact with him, but they have also been going on long drives together. Moreover, she has been lying about it to Pradeep by giving him some or the other excuse as well. When he angrily gives her a call, she first lies about not being in contact with her ex-boyfriend, but when he mentions the recent long drive she went on with him at night, she honestly tells him that it was just a drive and nothing else. But when Pradeep's suspicions drive her to tears, he tells her to stop with the act she was putting on. Seeing Yogi continuously on his phone at his own pre-wedding function, Divya slowly realizes that what she took as kindness and consideration might not be right. It seems that in reality, he expected her to stay away from his phone in return for giving her space and privacy. This makes her fear the aspect of his life he was hiding from her. At the end of 24 hours, Pradeep asks Nikitha's father to let him keep her phone for another 3 days, saying that he needs time for a more thorough check check through all her numerous apps and several friends. Speaking to Nikitha privately, her father refuses to believe that Pradeep has nothing to hide in his phone. Suspicious that he could have deleted his chats before handing over his phone, Nikitha's father decides to restore the backup just to be sure. Just as Pradeep processes the fact that all his secrets are soon going to be revealed, he gets a call from Divya saying that she will not get married unless she can swap phones with Yogi too. The next day, while Pradeep tries to convince his friend to hack into his phone and delete all the data, Nikitha is going through messages he has sent to numerous girls under false pretenses. This time, she gives him a confrontation call about gathering multiple photographs of girls under the excuse of making a short film. When he tries telling her that he was just helping his friends, Nikitha receives another call on Pradeep's phone. Denying needing a loan, she is about to disconnect the call when the lady from the bank asks if Pradeep is around. Not knowing that Nikitha added her to their call, Pradeep speaks to the bank lady and asks about her well-being. Irritated at Nikitha's shock at his behavior, Pradeep switches her phone to airplane mode for some peace of mind. When Divya approaches him to convince him to make an exchange of phones happen with Yogi, he refuses, saying that she should have thought about this when they got engaged. With his refusal, Divya's friends take it upon themselves to create situations such that Yogi will be forced to hand his phone over to Divya. However, after an entire day of tricking Yogi, they are unable to get his phone. While Divya wonders how she will endure a marriage with such a man, Pradeep and Nikitha's back-and-forth banter continues. The return of Dinesh, one of Pradeep's friends from college, brings back memories of a fake Instagram account. Back then, several guys from Pradeep's class used that fake account either to get back at people, to fool people into sending them money, or even to check the status of their ex-girlfriends. They changed the gender of the account as per their requirement, and things have been smooth sailing till now. The only problem was that this account was still in use and logged in from Pradeep's phone. When he gets a call from Nikitha, his entire friend group is scared that she must have seen the fake account and everything that went on there. Instead, Pradeep answers the phone just to be asked why he was still telling people that he was single. When she further asks him how he could gift her a puppy that he received from an ex-girlfriend, he tells her to meet him the next day, intending to grab his phone under an excuse and simply log out from the fake account. Surprisingly, when Pradeep meets Nikitha, it is Yogi who suggests to the rest of the gang that they can simply log into the account from one of their phones and use the logout from all devices option. Unfortunately, while Pradeep is happy to know about this option, everyone is trapped when an OTP is sent to his phone upon login from a new device. Once Nikitha comes to know about the fake account, she also realizes that it was exactly that account that had been sending her and her sister horrible messages all this time. No matter how sincerely Pradeep tries telling her that he wasn't the one who sent those messages, she refuses to believe him. Their meeting ends with an angry Pradeep seeing a sad and disappointed Nikitha leave with the friend that she had once assured him was a brother. At her wedding reception, Divya tries to snatch Yogi's phone when a kid runs away with it. Yogi chases him down and drives him to tears. When asked why he was crying, the kid answers that Yogi hit him because he saw a revealing picture of him with some woman. Meanwhile, Pradeep asks who among his group of friends was responsible for sending those messages to Nikitha and her sister. Deeply suspicious of all of them, he asks them to leave the reception. Left alone, he spots Divya quarreling with Yogi. Pradeep tries to get Yogi's phone but stops when his mother comes over and slaps him. When Pradeep breaks down in front of his mother, she calmly tells him that if Nikitha really loved him, then there is nothing Pradeep would ever have to worry about. She assures him that irrespective of the number of guys interested in her, she will never let any of them come closer while she has Pradeep. Further, she inspires him to be the trustworthy partner everyone seeks in a relationship. Later, while Pradeep talks to Divya on the phone, Yogi joins him. Without knowing about Divya listening in, Yogi tells Pradeep about the constant trolling he faces online. He says that he was protecting her feelings by keeping his phone to himself. He even clarifies that the photo the kid saw earlier was just his gym trainer who was helping him reduce weight. He then goes over to Divya and gives her his unlocked phone. Having heard his sincerity, she decides not to go through it. Looking around the reception hall later, Pradeep sees that his friends hadn't left. When he goes over, they try to convince him of their innocence. Ultimately, they all end up apologizing to each other, and Pradeep decides to meet Nikitha right away. However, things take a serious turn when an explicit video of Nikitha circulated by one of her male colleagues goes viral. When the video reaches her father, he slaps her repeatedly before smashing Pradeep's phone when he calls her. While her father deals with relatives calling to ask about the video, Nikitha walks out of the house. When her sister notices Nikitha's disappearance, she immediately contacts Pradeep. While he looks for Nikita in the surrounding areas, his friends use her phone to call her friends. He finally finds her at the beach they regularly visit together. He tells her that he trusts her and confesses his love. In the meantime, Pradeep's friends manage to track down the guy who made the video and get him to accept that it was indeed a fake video. Back at Nikita's place, her father explains that he didn't make them exchange phones to break them up, but instead to check if they can trust each other enough to go through life together. Convinced that Pradeep is the right guy for his daughter, he asks him to get his mother along one day so they can discuss their next steps. In another test, though, he suggests that he swap phones with Pradeep's mother when she comes over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more exciting videos. Cheers!